So, welcome to my brand new channel, Semide.
Thanks.
Such an honor to have you here and to initiate me into this world of video and film so that people can now see.
Yeah. And I know everyone's been waiting a long time for Theodore's channel. Here it is.
Finally, it's arrived. So today I think it's just, introduction. Let's have some tea and let's talk a little bit about what's going on and what we're up to. I know people have been seeing me in your channel and have been waiting so long. And finally we're here. So yeah, I'll pour you a cup of tea if
Yes,
you'd
please.
like.
That'd be great.
So what do we have here today, Semide?
We have white pine, sage, and sweetgrass tea. Ooh, look at that color. I love it.
It's steeped. Wow. Very nice.
Yeah, it uses, I think they are, what is it called? Wildcrafted tea?
Oh, does that mean that they harvested it from the wild?
Yeah. Harvested responsibly.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To our brand new channel. It's quite delicious. I love that.
Just add a little bit of this coconut milk. Would you like some?
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy it without it, so that way I can get the full
I love my milk teas.
benefit. Full taste.
It's really yummy.
I love it. So this kind of stuff is really perfect for the autumn season, which is what we're entering, the time of change, the time of letting go. And first of all, I wanted to invite everyone to the burning ceremony that we're gonna have. It's on September 22nd, which happens to be the autumn equinox. It's the time when we have equal amount of daylight to darkness before we plunge into the winter season, which will be more darkness, but also an invitation for us to dive deep within, to be more introspective.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about your experience with our last burning ceremony?
Yeah, so we actually held it virtually because of the pandemic, and we did it on Zoom with a bunch of people. And I think we did a meditation with the desert breath and the ocean breath. And then Theodore invited all of us to write down something on a piece of paper that we want to just let go of in the autumn season. And previously we already told you what these things were, so you already wrote it down in this beautiful calligraphy handwriting. And then you placed them in the fire, burnt them, and then took the ashes and put it in a little boat with a bunch of beautiful flowers. And there's a really beautiful the first ASMR video that you made that you should actually post it.
I should. I'll put it in.
It's really beautiful.
I'll put it in as you're describing it.
Yeah, and you just sent it off with love, and that was a really powerful experience.
Oh, thank you, Semide.
That would be amazing if you can open that up to all your viewers.
Yeah, I think that's such a wonderful description. Thank you for saving me from having to explain that. So essentially, yeah, that is a great way for us to set an intention for what we welcome, what we want to welcome into our life, and what we need to release from our life, things that are no longer serving us.
Yeah.
And this season is so particularly important for this because, as I was saying, it's a season of introspection. Everywhere around you, you see the theme of change and letting go and entering a world of more quiet, a world of decay, which is necessary for the spring season to utilize that old stuff and transmute it and convert it into something very beautiful all over again. And that is kind of, that to me describes the process of trauma transfiguration. We're taking something that sometimes a little bit hurtful or difficult that has happened to us in the past, but is no longer serving us. It's created a tremendous amount of pressure for growth to take place, and by allowing it to be offered to fire, which is one of the most important and beautiful transformative force that we have in this planet, we're intentionally setting this wheel to start spinning, the wheel of intention that we want something better for our lives. And that's why we do the burning ceremony. And so everyone's welcome. I'll put the link below in the description on how you can sign up. It's absolutely free, and it's on September the 22nd, 5 p.m. Eastern time, so that's Toronto time. Yeah.
And I'll be there. So
yeah,
we can
so
hang out.
Yeah, you'll definitely be there. So the other thing that, Semide's doing with me is my brand new course.
Yes.
We've run it in the past successfully, and this year we're going to run it again on October the 3rd. And it's the Trauma Transfiguration Foundation course. And this course is really important for anyone out there who is looking to work with their own traumas, or maybe they've worked with their traumas in the past but haven't quite found what they were looking for, or maybe there's somebody who's just new and don't know where to start. This course was really designed to take the whole process, the guesswork out of, trauma work can be so, it can be a very overwhelming and surmounting task to undertake, especially if you don't know where to start.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we've taken years and years of experience, like my 14 years of working in this field, and condensed it into a easy step-by-step process that is guided, that for us to follow, so that it becomes a little bit more doable, more seamless, less scary. And I tell people it's kind of like if you're ever gonna go scuba diving for the first time, there's a lot of things you need to learn. You need to learn how to acclimate. You need to learn how to get rid of pressure from your ear. You need to learn how to read your oxygen, how to do hand gestures to signal that everything is gonna be okay, or when things are not so okay. So in order for us to go diving, we need to learn the basics of scuba diving. After we've passed our certification, then we can actually go and enjoy ourselves underwater. And in many ways, trauma work is similar to diving, because you're going in the depths of the unknown, into sometimes the subconscious. And without the proper training on how to operate the machinery, or how to make sure that you are safe and that you're going to come back to the surface, then it becomes really daunting. But once you learn all of that thing, then it can be such a joyful experience, and you never know what you're going to find under there.
Yes, and I can say from personal experience working with Theodore for the past year that he's just such a loving, compassionate guide, and he will dive with you.
Yeah, would you like to share a little bit about how your experience was, and what was it like going through that whole process, and what you got out of it?
Definitely. So for me, I didn't take the course, but I did one-on-one counseling with Theodore, and I didn't really know what to expect going in. I just kind of dove right in with you. I didn't really know.
Back then there was no course, so that's why the course was created, to help people ease into it.
Right.
So,
but I was ready. I mean, there was a lot coming up, especially when it came to my relationships with my past lovers, as well as my family members. And wow, like looking back, so much has changed. It really helped to unravel a lot of stuckness in me. There was a lot of trapped energy that was limiting me from growing to my highest potential, and working through the trauma with my ex-boyfriends, my parents, my culture, all of that. I was able to really liberate myself and just, I mean, I'm a golden eagle. That's another part of the healing process. We were able to figure out my homeopathic remedy. And for me, I really was able to step out of my cage and fly, really. So I would say that over the past year doing trauma work, I've been able to welcome in healthier relationships with healthier boundaries with others and also with myself. I've been able to be more assertive in asking for what I want and what I need. I've been able to manifest things in my life that I've been dreaming about for a long time, like the current relationship that I'm in, the home that I live in, the career that I have, and just, yeah, it's been incredible. I highly recommend it, and I believe it's the work that we all need to do in order to help ourselves, but also to grow as a community and help to heal this fractured world. That's my take.
Oh, thank you so much for that. And yeah, like, for those of you who are interested in seeing some of our filmed work, which is about a year from now when we did the trauma processing.
It was November of last year.
November of last year, which is, almost a year from now. But we were working with each other even earlier than that. That was the recorded one. And it was just so fascinating to see you transform and into the beautiful eagle that you are, and now manifesting the life that you deserve and that you want. And it's my hope and dream for everyone out there. It's I've made it my mission to free beautiful warriors like yourselves from trauma so that you can live the life that you deserve. And exactly what you said to me, there's 3 steps to it. There's the letting go phase, the purging, which requires a lot of awareness and intention, because otherwise we get trapped and caught into sometimes the traumas that were handed down to us without our choices.
That's right. And yeah, like, I know that our predecessors, our ancestors have had the best intentions and they've tried their best with the skills that they had, but unconsciously they will pass down trauma. And it's up to us to break the cycle and up to us to process it so that we don't pass it down to future generations as well. That's why I think this work is so important.
And then we moved on to the second stage, which is the core. Like, this is the diving. This is when we dive really in depth and see that Pandora's box in the treasure chest and see what's under there. First we gotta look for it and we gotta get there. And that is a trauma work, and this is why we created the 3-step process, beginning with a course which equips them with the tools and how to use them. From there they could decide to go on their own if they feel that's it, or maybe work with another practitioner. Some people decide to do the one-on-one, which is the held, like, not handheld device, but handheld diving together. Yeah. And then we have the retreats as an offering after the entire thing. But that second stage, that's where we really zoom into the work that we want to do. So it's important to set an intention as to, where you see yourself, even 5 years from now. If you were to just close your eyes and give yourself the ability to move forward for 5 years from now, what would you be?
Yeah.
Smelling, tasting, seeing, hearing, touching. What is that like? Because that is the compass and the direction that we work with. So we clear what is stopping you from being there, give you the tools. A lot of it is stuff that you already have. It's a matter of leveraging them and then replacing the ones that are not serving us with healthier ones. and then moving forward and actually manifesting, which
Yeah.
is it takes a lot of courage and bravery in order to do that, and
Yes.
that's what you did.
Absolutely. Now I'm getting these flashbacks of like the first ever trauma processing session that I had with you, and what you asked was, yeah, 5 years from now, what do you hope your life to be? And it's so interesting because I'm pretty much almost there. In the picture that I drew, and it was with my left hand, my non-dominant hand, I drew a house with a loving partner and a dog and a garden, and then we were all offering light to this garden, and a lot of those pieces are already together, and I can see the house coming pretty soon, which is so exciting. And hopefully the garden as well, and the dog. We'll just see when all those pieces fit in, but it's incredible looking back. That was less than a year ago. Well,
Yeah.
about a year ago.
Exactly.
And at the time, I was still living at my parents' place. I just broke up with that guy.
We called it, or not, so we called him R? No.
It was D.
D,
and then it
sorry.
was B.
Okay.
I
Okay.
was in a really messy, almost even like broken state after that, and very traumatized state. But I was able to envision the future that I wanted, and the fact that a year later I'm pretty much almost there, and I'm in a really
Yeah.
happy, healthy place. Wow.
Yeah. I remember this moment where you were calling me from the closet. Are you here to show? Like, that was your own space, that closet.
Yeah.
Which is kind of resembles a cage for a lot of people. It's like this small,
Yeah.
tight space. And
That was the only place where I felt like I had the privacy to be able to talk about my traumas, because otherwise everyone was around, and it was during the pandemic, so everyone was at home, and there was just no space to really express myself safely. But now I do.
yeah.
I'm right here.
And you're expressing it to the whole world through your YouTube channel and
Yeah.
the work that you do, which is incredible as well.
Yeah. And I love my family. I love my parents. I love all of that. But it's a totally different story when you're able to craft your own life the way that you want it to be, instead of what I'm used to and what has been given to me, which I'm grateful for. But yeah, it's totally different, and I'm really welcoming all these changes.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing
Yeah.
that. It's much easier for people to understand and visualize the concepts from another person's experience. So thank you so much for sharing. So yeah, basically that's it. That's Semide there sharing her experience with the entire process that we took, which is about a year. And because I understand that process can be very intense for a lot of people, it could be really scary for people to just jump in there into the deep end. This is why I've created the course. So the course is 10 weeks long, it's 90 minutes each, and we go through the step-by-step trauma transfiguration process, which I use the chakra system actually. It's
Yeah.
very familiar to a lot of people. There's 7 chakras.
So the course is based on the 7 chakra system, starting with
The base chakra of the Muladhara, and all the way up to the 7 pieces. And in each step, we've integrated all of the tools that we've learned over the years with mentoring, traveling around the world, and integrating all of these aspects, including Qigong, yoga, breathwork, meditation, mindfulness, into a really manageable unit that they can take with them for the rest of their lives. So yeah.
so each module, the first module is it also the chakra system, or is it more of an intro?
Yeah, the first module is introduction, like what to expect, and the entire the mindset shift that needs to take place. Because this work is quite unique. It's not therapy. It's not medical. Like, my work is really to demedicalize trauma and to deconstruct it, decolonize it. I think trauma is actually a really beautiful experience that is held collectively and shared by all living beings, and we all have the potential to transfigure that. And what we've created here is a way to do that in a simple and step-by-step way that is guided to make it a little bit more accessible for people, because there's so much taboo against the entire subject, and people are often afraid to go there.
So much fear.
There's people afraid to get triggered or afraid to trigger others, but it's essential to go there. It's so vital that we go there in a way that is that we feel confident, that we know we can handle whatever we might encounter. And that's why the course is so important, because that is how we're going to learn how to read a map and navigate our way into the uncharted waters of trauma.
Yeah. And so module 2, we start with the base chakra, and then we move up. So we try to establish a sense of security and safety with the base chakra.
The base chakra is definitely safety and security, but first and foremost the letting go piece.
Right.
Because the base chakra is in the perineum, and in the area there, it's all about the release. So we've got our excrement. Yeah, exactly.
We excrete any waste.
We expel the waste, and that is what we're working with, and that's the intention that we set during the burning ceremony, is to release anything that is no longer serving us, so that we can then build a brand new foundation from that platform, which is the safety, security.
Right.
Moving up to the second, the Swadhisthana, which is the sacral chakra, is all about creativity and really accessing a really powerful source of energy that we have, which is the sexual center. Through this, we're able to transmutate and take that energy and transform it into creative forces by bringing it into other parts of our system that it may not be able to get to without the kind of work that you need to do for it. Yeah.
And then we're moving into the solar
plexus. The Manipura, which is called in English the Jewel City, is the center for the willpower. Here we're gonna this is where the manifestation happens. We've cleared we've paved the way, and then we built the foundations, and then we fill it in with the things that we've envisioned in that 5-year vision.
Right.
How do we get there? How do we, we've removed the limiting beliefs, but how do we actually consistently show up in our thought, words, and action every single day, so that we can manifest the life that we want and the life that we deserve?
Yeah. And then from there, we're going up to the heart chakra.
The Anahat, which is, for a lot of us who have severed the sacral chakra, the sexual center, the heart also experiences a shock, because this is all about trusting, building relationships with others, connecting with others from heart to heart. So if we have a compromised sacral chakra, or other, for that matter, the heart really takes a hit. So how do we reestablish trust? How do we build a community around us, a relationship that we want, not just romantic relationship, but relationship with ourselves first, and with others? That's what we're going to be working with there. And of course the next one would be the Vishuddha, the throat, which it's about communication, but it's also most importantly about truth. how do we communicate truth first to ourselves before others? Because some of the beliefs that we have, they may seem true, but they're not true, right? One of the concepts that we work on is removing that kind of victim mindset and shifting ourselves to a more empowered stance. Like, how do we take ownership and responsibility for ourselves now? Of course, we can't influence what has already happened in the past, but by shifting our gears and seeing it in a different perspective, you know, if you had that bird's eye view, that eagle's view, and you could see everything the way it is, just for what it is, aligning ourselves to that vibration of truth will dictate how we communicate to everyone and everything around us. It will show in our posture, our tone of voice, our facial expression. So that is so important. That expression.
The throat chakra is also about boundaries, right?
Yeah, so that's how we can communicate boundaries. But a lot of times the boundaries, especially in the work that I've found, the boundaries can be offset in one of the earlier chakras, the base and the sacral chakra, because if that sense of security wasn't there in place, we couldn't trust the world because people said one thing but they did another. There were mixed messages, or we were taken advantage of in some sort of way. It's very hard to say no because we're not able to understand or comprehend what it's like to have healthy boundaries to begin with. So setting those boundaries, it all goes all the way up, but certainly communicating your boundaries, that's where this element comes into play.
Right.
Yeah, because the next one is the ajna, which is the insight, is how do you even begin to see things for what they are. So if you're working with boundaries, you know, how do you know what is a healthy boundary? Because it changes. My boundary with you may be different from my boundary with someone else, right? I may allow more porousness for people to come in and out of certain aspects of my life versus others. So how do we set that? So we need all of our chakras to be activated from that, because the insight is going to tell us, you know, it's going to give us an intuition. Is this a place that I can trust, you know, with my heart? Is this a person that I could trust, or is there something in the back of my mind that's telling me no? So in order for that to be, that's why it's important to go each and every one and assess the health of the chakras, which we have a kind of an assessment tool that I've created. It's for anyone who's joining the course or is thinking of joining the course. It's something that we take as we start the course. We measure it to see where you need to focus on. And so if the throat chakra is an area of focus, then when that module comes up, then you can really just focus in and hone in into that and really take all of the pieces from there. And then we measure that we measure it after the course to see, you know, where people are at.
And do you measure using that same 70 question quiz, or?
Yeah, the same 70 question quiz is what we use throughout the course. And again, in the one-on-one, there's other measurement tools that we use, but this one I found is the most, it's one of the most useful assessment tools that we have.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then finally the crown chakra. Yeah,
the Sahasrara, which is the crown chakra. This one is, you know, it's an ongoing work, because this is what connects us to something higher than ourselves, like the universe or God or what have you. This is where a lot of the spiritual work is able to enter in and out, and how we convey ourselves into the world, how we exist in this world. Like, what are some of our core values? What are, and are they malleable? Because we may get stuck in a certain belief system that could actually hold us and prevent us from advancing further to building a community that we want, or nourishing relationships that we want, if we are stuck in a certain way. So, ever more so opening that. I mean, I think the crown chakra, out of all the chakras, is the one that stays open all the time, but working through all of this will eventually harmonize the crown, so that we can intentionally relate and commune with the world around us, with others. This is about otherness. A lot of the internal work is oneness with yourself, and then the otherness becomes oneness because everything gets integrated.
Everything is interconnected, absolutely.
Yeah,
I love that.
so that's the summary of what we're going to be doing in the next 10 weeks. The course will start on October the 3rd. I'll put the link below. And
every Sunday at 12, is it 12 p.m. EST?
Yep, 12 p.m. Eastern Time.
And each session is 90 minutes long.
90 minutes.
So Theodore is going to be the main instructor, and I will try my best to help facilitate.
Yeah, you will be there.
Teach as well.
You will be there to co-teach. Yeah, so Semide has expressed a lot of interest in this realm, this trauma world, and I am so happy to be that you chose me to mentor you through this. So I will do my absolute best to impart, every piece of wisdom that I've acquired.
Thank you.
And so that we could just continue to spread the light this way.
Yes, absolutely. This is light work, trauma work, shadow work, and light work all in one.
Exactly, because in order for you to see the light, you kind of have to go into a dark space in order to appreciate that light. So that's kind of like the work that we do. We teach people how to light their own light, so that they'll always be able to have it forever, for the rest of their life, and they can teach others to do that as well. So if you're somebody who would like to receive that light for yourself, and have been stuck in the past because of trauma, this is definitely the course that you want to be in. Or if you're somebody who's working with other people who have trauma, it's also a good idea to get a fresh perspective, because again, this is quite different from the regular conventional methods out there. Or if you're someone who's completely new, you don't know where to begin, this is exactly the course for you, because here we're going to take you step by step through the process of trauma transfiguration.
Yeah, we're super excited to have you join us. Please consider it. And if you have any questions, where do they go?
They can email me directly, Theodore Castasis at traumatransfiguration.com. Our website is traumatransfiguration.com, and you'll find more information in the courses.
Yeah, all of that will be linked in the description below, so please check that out. Yeah, we're just super excited.
Yeah, and don't miss out on the September 22nd burning ceremony. That's where it really starts. So if you're interested, come in, join us September 22nd into our autumn equinox burning ceremony.
Yeah, we'd love to have you. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye.
Woohoo. Oh, wait. Should we end this with a meditation?
Should we?
I think it's fine.
Okay.
No.
Maybe for next video.
I feel like we got too excited, and then it's too...
We'll cut up.